Can we meet you?
I'm by name Vivian Vincent.
Okay. Which school did you finish from?
I graduated from AAU, Abronsali University, Ekpoma.
All
yes.
Right. Okay. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
What kind of business did you do back then? Did you do anything, or you were just receiving money from home?
Wow.
Every time?
Well, asking about what kind of business I was able to put together back then in school, it was a challenging one, I must confess. But at first, I wasn't into anything. I was not doing anything, just like the normal regular student. But it got to a stage I discovered that if you must survive in school and do some other things on your own, you must not depend on your parents alone for a means of survival. So I decided to take it as a challenge. Then there was somebody, a lady very close to me, blessing. Then she was into catering, and I was just there doing nothing. So I told myself, this is a challenge, I have to do one thing or the other. So I decided to go into it, learn. And after learning, trust me, it wasn't easy, because you have lectures to attend to and other church activities as a Christian sister, and other activities to put on together. Sometimes you go for lectures before coming back and all that. But I discovered that I have passion for what I was doing, which was catering. We produced some of the small chops then, and at first it wasn't forthcoming. What we expected to get wasn't forthcoming, and we decided to say, okay, let's keep doing it. And most of the time in the church, they will want to make cake, and the way they will price it, you just feel like, wow, these people think that I'm having a factory in my house. But you just have to encourage yourself. I think from that place to another person, it was encouraging, and we were able to put things together, and it was like a means of surviving. Before, maybe I'm in need of some amount of money before I can call my parents and all that. Trust me, I already have that done, and it was encouraging, but it wasn't easy.
All right. So what were those starting points? How did you initiate the business? How did you start the catering itself? How did you get customers to buy from you? I know there are many viewers today, they have different skills there, but the ability to monetize it and make money from it is the problem. So how are you able to generate money from those things that you do?
Okay, at first, one of the challenge we were having then was the environment was a major challenge, because we were familiar with so many persons, and coming to patronize you as a person that you've been used to, the cost of production and all that. After making a particular cake design for somebody, maybe your cost of production is like 3,000 naira, and somebody is pricing the cake for 2,500. Like, what is all this? But one thing that we were able to put together was that we don't really have what it takes. That is one. When I mean what it takes, was that you need oven. Maybe you want to produce a cake, you need oven and some of the cake accessory to put together, but we were not having that. But we were able to put one or two things together. We do the local pattern, and we have gas, we have stove. Sometimes, because gas is more expensive, we can decide to go for the stove pattern. Then we were able to get a pot, and we have cake pan, and we were able to produce something. But how we were able to get our customers to patronize what we are doing, it was through the avenue of the church we attend and school environment. It means you have to mingle with people. When you are into business, you don't have to be it's not about you this time around. You just have to mingle with people, because trust me, the money you are looking for is not with those persons you are familiar with, it's with the strangers. So if you are thinking of going into business, maybe as a student, or to be able to give you fun, you just have to mingle with people, get close to people, tell people what you do part-time, and somebody that is aware of what you are doing, we end up introducing you to someone else that will introduce you to another person. I think that was the major miss we make use of. We were able to mingle, though it wasn't easy, but we were able to mingle.
So talking about balancing academics, what you went to school to do was to study.
Yeah.
Now, but business now, okay, you're into business. How were you able to balance academics, spiritual life, and business together, and not having issue at the end of the day?
Wow, that is a very good question, because as I said earlier, it wasn't easy. It was a taxing one and a demanding one of that. The truth is, the kind of course I studied religious management in school, and most of the times down to weekend you have to go for lectures, and you have a business to do at hand, church, the activities, and I happen to be one of the youth leader there. But one thing that I was able to look up to was, like, I was not distracted. Let me use that word. I was not distracted. It got to a point I was telling myself 24 hours a day was too small for me, but I was able to manage my time. I don't miss lectures. I don't take my lectures for granted, but I was able to draw out my plans and have time management. You know, the problem we are having today is because some of us don't know how to manage our time. As a lady, most especially, if you are finding it difficult to manage your time now that you are single, it will be very difficult to manage your time if you are married. This is what I'm trying to say now. Maybe once you are married, it's not about you. You have your husband to attend to, you have the children to attend to, you have your extended family. Now, it all falls back to your position in the family, and you have so many persons in the environment that are looking up to you. All these are put together. Always have this reminder that don't be distracted. I was able to manage my time. And trust me, at first it was so challenging, and it wasn't easy, I must confess, but I was able to manage my time, and trust me, nothing was clashing with the other one. I was able to have a balanced timing. So time management was one of the way that I was able to put together to manage everything.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Looking at the current state of things, what kind of skill do you think you would advise ladies or sisters or even brothers currently in school that you think, you know, I want to believe that there should be specific kind of business that they should do. You can, maybe there are some business that might be time consuming, there are some businesses that might be overwhelming, or maybe practically cannot be combined together with academics. Do you have any idea of anything like that that I might want to share with our viewers?
All right. If you ask me as a person, I would say back then, it depends on the environment. I must confess, because some of the schools won't allow students to come in with anything that, because before crossing the gates, some of the school, they will have to check your bags and all that. But I will advise students, if you want to go into business, go into what you have passion for. Even when the strength is not there, something keep reminding you that you have something left undone. So when you are not having passion for that particular thing you are doing, it won't be that easy. So I will advise it depends on what you have passion, what you love doing. If you are finding it difficult, maybe it is not possible for you to carry it to the school environment, that is where you mingle with people comes to play now. Your environment, maybe the place you are staying off campus, and we have family people there. You can relate with one of the business women. I said, okay, ma, please, can I drop this thing with you? Maybe as a guy, and you don't want your friends in school to know what you are into, you can create an avenue in the church you attend. See, this thing called business, you can't do it without people. You need people. You need people. That is one of the mindsets I want us to have. You need people. The good, the bad. You just need them to patronize you as a person. You get to relate with them part time. Get to talk to people, and before you know it, you can, okay, at the course of discussion, this is what I do, this is what I can do, and somebody else can introduce you to another person. But if you ask me what kind of a business I will advise students to go into, that particular business that will not be that demanding, that will not be that time consuming, like it won't affect your lectures, it won't affect other activities you are doing as a student. Because trust me, one of the reasons you find yourself in that environment is to study. So aside from that, whatever you find yourself doing is an additional thing. So go into a business that won't clash with your study, won't clash with your personal activities and all that. So, but you must have it at the back of your mind that you need to have passion, love what you are doing. Even when it's not easy, you find yourself doing it. So the business that won't clash, it won't be time consuming, and it won't affect whatever you are doing. Thank you.
You once mentioned of a friend that you advised. The parent sends money consistently and you advise the parent to save money. Can you share that story with us?
I think back then in school there was this lady. Her name is Sandra. She's from a very good family there. Let me say she was born with silver spoon, and everything was okay for her. But one of the problems she was having, she don't know what to do with the money. We have people like that in our environment. She don't know what to do with the money, and she was into like buy clothes, eat food, and that was all. Before you know it, the parents were sending some reasonable amount of money, and I decided to go close to her, not because I have interest in the money, but I have this understanding that nothing lasts forever. Sometimes what you have, it can't remain there forever. It all has to do with how you're able to manage it and put it together. So I just called her and I told her, I said, do you know this money, you can do something with it? And she said, no, her parents are there, that she's okay. And I said, okay, please just do this for me. Let's open an account. There's not going to be an ATM card to it. You won't have access to withdraw this money. And she said, okay. I said, in a week, this is the amount you'll be keeping there, just a week. Do you know, before she graduated, I think at 300 level or so, when she came to me and she was like, she wants to go and check the amount in the account, she was so surprised. And after school, she's doing well. I think she have her own shop now. She's still a student, let me put it that way. She's doing well for herself. And so sometimes some of us, we have this money, but our problem is that we don't know what to do with it. And if you are such a person, I will advise you get somebody that have idea, somebody you can trust part time. There are people that they have visions, they have plans. They can tell you what to do, and that will generate money to you and profit. But there are some persons that they have this money, they don't know how to manage it, they don't know what to use it for. So if you happen to fall in this category of people that have this money, or have people that can give them this money and don't see, I will also advise lady, it is good to look good as a lady. It is good to go for quality things, but do you know that there is time for everything? Back then in school, I was not competing with anybody. I was not looking at the woman hair or such that people and ladies will go for. Some can even go to any length to get this thing, but I wasn't looking at that. I was looking for how to invest and how to get my profit on it. Just calculate the money you spend on the dress in a month and the money you invest on the hair you make. Calculate this money in a month and ask yourself, what is the profit that you are getting per time in a month? And when you decide to save this money, okay, you don't want to go into business, save this money. make a decision that in a week, this is the amount I'm going to be saving. And trust me, when you are graduating from school, you won't be like others asking yourself, okay, what next now? What should I do? You have something to fall back to. Even after NYC service and people are asking, okay, Alawi is not forthcoming, so what is the next thing? What should I do? You won't be confused because you already have savings, you have plans. And looking for people to be of help to you will not be an issue because you have the money. Good visions, good dream, you need money. Without money, it will remain a dream. The only thing that can make it a reality, it is when you have money to finance or to push this into any length. We have people that have big visions. We have people that have good dreams. But do you know their dreams and their visions still remain a dream? It has not come to reality because what they need, that is money, is not there, it's not forthcoming. No matter how big, no matter how good your vision is, you need money. So one thing that can help is when you invest, go into business, mingle with the right people and save. I think that lady, wherever she is now, she know that I didn't give her money. Yes, that is one of the things. I never gave her money, but I was able to invest into her life. And trust me, it is something that she can't forget in an hurry. Thank you.
Wow. Pause. We are done. Wow. Okay, if I've gotten you very well, the first thing you talking about was time management, and you went there to talk about having a passion for what you are doing, and you also mentioned about something about relationship, that it is very important to value relationship, and most importantly, number 4, you talked about prioritizing your academics from your business or whatever you are doing, because the major reason why you are in that school is for the academics. So you prioritize it, then all other things will be secondary and you'll be able to blend from there. Thank you very much for this. Is there any other thing you would like to share with us even as we wrap up this session?
Okay. I just want to advise the viewer out there that we should have this mindset that whatever we do here on earth is a seed. We are sowing a seed. And I'm talking about seed, it has to do with the negative one and the positive one. Your action is a seed. People you come across, people you relate with, there's a message you've passed across to them. Now the question is, those people around you, what are the message that you've been able to pass across to them? What can people say about you? Trust me, there are some persons that no matter how good you claim to be, they will still criticize you. But deep down inside of you, what kind of seed are you planting in the heart of those that you've come across? What can they say about you? See, it is good to invest. Yes, it is good to go into business. It is good to have relationship with people. But trust me, one of the greatest investment that anybody can go into here is to invest in people. People around you, what can they say about you? Are you a blessing? Are you a curse to them? So sometimes when you are taking out some action, just bear this in mind that you are passing a message and you are planting a seed. And in due time, that seed, definitely it will grow. It will grow, and you can't give what you don't have. People will judge you based on what you are doing part-time. They will judge you based on what they see, based on what you say. So I just want to advise everybody, you have the plan, you want to invest, you want to do this, you want to do that, but don't forget, people around you, you don't have money to give. But a word of advice can go a long way. You can't give anybody any gift, but what your action part-time has a long way to go in people's life. Back then in school, one of the things that encouraged me, I don't have money. Yes, I don't have money. I was trusting God to help the little I have, but I was not selfish. I was not selfish. I was able to spread hands of love to people around me. And trust me, I was not aware of what I was doing then. But now, so many persons that I happen to know back then in school, they've been a great blessing to me in one way or the other. You can't tell. That person you are looking down upon today and you don't want to spread the little you have. The truth is that when you decide to fold your hands this way, you are keeping whatever you have to yourself. You are not giving it out. You fold your hand, you close your hands to yourself. There is nothing new that can come in. But when you release your hand this way, you will receive, and at the same time you are giving out. But when you decide to keep it to yourself, new thing cannot come. And don't forget, it is only an empty drum that can accommodate water. But the one that is filled cannot accommodate water anymore. So it is when you give out that little thing you have, that thing you think nobody is in need of it, there is somebody that needs it out there. Invest in people part-time, your actions, your word of advice, your word of encouragement, it will go a long way. And when the time comes for you to harvest this thing, you will be so surprised. You won't know how long these actions have really gone in these people's life. So I will advise that whatever we do part-time, we are planting a seed. So it all bounces back to you. What kind of seed are you planting in people's life? Thank you very much.